Now, this summer, Arsenal are trying to pull off an even bigger deal. And that deal last year helped us to win the Premier League. Could this deal, if we pulled it off, help us to retain it and maybe even go and win that Champions League? Of course, I'm talking about Vinicius Jr. It's still on everybody's lips. It's still, at the moment, sort of the biggest transfer rumour around. You know, I mean, certainly in the Premier League anyway. And got some more updates for you today. I mean, listen, for the next few days, I'm sure, until, you know, we know more, it's going to be Vinicius Jr. daily. It's just how it is. It's giving me Benzema vibes, right? Hopefully it doesn't turn out the same as the legendary Benzema rumours that we had. But in those days, it weren't as realistic as it is now that this could happen. But there's a lot of spinning plates to this one. Now, let's just go through some of the rumours that we've been hearing right around this deal yet again. AS publication over there in Spain claiming that the player will hold talks this week, in the next couple of days, they're saying, with Real Madrid to try and thrash out a new deal. They're claiming that he wants a contract from Real Madrid that reflects his global status. And he has got global status. We've seen it in, you know, the hysteria with him being linked to Arsenal. He wants a new contract sorted out according to them. He doesn't want to leave. And we've heard that he, you know, he doesn't specifically want to leave, but he wants a contract that reflects his global status. AS are also claiming that his priority is to sign a new deal with Real Madrid. But he wants to know these things. He also wants to know where he's going to fit in with this team, of course. You know, the other big story that's around today is obviously the fact that Real Madrid are signing Yan Diomande. They've gazumped PSG, and, you know, because that's where he looked like he was going. He's going to Liverpool at first, then he's going to PSG. Now he's going to Real Madrid. This is how these transfers can work out. They're paying over £100 million for him, so massive outlay. Of course, he's a player who can play on the right-hand side, but he can also play on the left. So where does that leave Vinicius Jr. going forward if he goes and signs a new long-term contract? So he wants assurances over all of these things and where he fits into the team. But AS are saying his priority is to stay at Real Madrid. Sport, on the other hand, they're claiming, and that's another publication based over there in Spain, they're claiming that Real Madrid are willing to sell him if a deal can't be done for £137 million. Lot of money, crazy money, you could say. But for a player of his caliber, when you consider Morgan Rogers 117 million, when you consider Elliot Anderson 116 million, when you consider 135 million for Alexander Isak, that's kind of the going rate, even though he does only have 1 year left on his contract. So I'm sure Arsenal, if he does become available, would want to negotiate that down. But that's the sort of money they're looking for. The thing they don't want to happen is him walking away for absolutely nothing, which is a real possibility if they didn't sign a new contract and he just stuck around for a year. Then he can go to Arsenal and go wherever he wants, right? So that is the dilemma that faces Real Madrid. I also read where there's not big differences in the amount that he's looking for in wages compared to what Real Madrid have offered him, but that Real Madrid don't want to pay any extra money. They're like, that's it, and we're not going any higher. Also, there's other factors that might play into the mind of Vinicius Jr. One of them being the new manager, Jose Mourinho. Remember, they had a massive falling out last season, that whole sort of racism incident that happened between the Benfica player and Vinicius Jr. when they played in the Champions League. It was huge, huge news. And Jose Mourinho came out and backed the Benfica player, and that didn't go down well at all with Vinicius Jr. and Vinicius Jr.'s entourage. Didn't go down very good with Real Madrid either, even though they've brought in Mourinho now as the new manager. But how will he feel playing for Jose Mourinho. Will he be up for playing for Jose Mourinho? We know Jose Mourinho can be a very volatile character as well. There's so many factors to play out in this one. I mean, another one is Real Madrid with buying Diamande. They're also chasing Rodri. They've made a lot of signings this summer, but Rodri's the other signing they want to bring in. They can only register 25 players. So as it stands, with bringing in Diamande, if they wanted to bring in Rodri again, that means they have to get rid of players. And they're probably going to get rid of players anyway, because this is going to be a massive outlay on player fees and wages. And just like any other team, they have to balance their books. We do know that they make crazy income, but they may need to let a player go so that they can register Rodri. Again, so many factors to this deal, and it's going to be playing out all week, I'm sure. We'll keep you up to date with it all here on Transfer Daily. Of course, there's still Julian Alvarez. That's the other big saga over there in Spain as well, where he wants to go to Barcelona, but we know that Atletico Madrid don't want to let him leave. We saw today, that there's some publications saying that, Atletico, they've closed the door on that. They're saying, you ain't going nowhere. You're not going to Barcelona. Simple as that. He hasn't come back yet from the World Cup, but when he comes back, what he does and says is going to be really, really interesting. Does he agitate and say, I want out, I don't want to play for Atletico no more? And then, do Arsenal make a move for him? If they couldn't get Vinicius Jr., would it then be Alvarez that they go for as their priority? And does Alvarez want to come to Arsenal? I mean, there's so many different factors, but just as I said, going right back to the start of the show with the Victor Gyökeres deal, when you go to get these type of caliber of players, and I'm not saying Gyökeres is even on anywhere near on the same type of level as buying Vinicius Jr. and Alvarez because of the caliber of club that he was playing for. But when you go to buy high-profile players that have had a great season, it's going to be very difficult, and there's going to be a lot of things that have to fall into a place sometimes for you to get this deal done. So let's see how it plays out. Arsenal also linked today with a World Cup winner, Dani Olmo, of course. He's won the Euros, he's won the World Cup with Spain. Played almost every game. I think he played literally every game for Spain. Played in a final. Reports coming out of Spain that Arsenal are interested in signing Dani Olmo, even saying that Arsenal are willing to offer £72 million for him. I don't know where they get that from. He's worth about £60 million. Wasn't a regular in Barcelona's team last season, but it's not agitating to leave, not agitating to move, but not a regular in that team. Another attacking midfielder, though, for Arsenal. I don't know. I see this one as unlikely. We've already got Mikel Merino. We've got, how many armies? One year. There's loads of players in that position. Eze. You've got Martin Odegaard. Don't need another attacking midfielder, surely. But Dani Olmo being linked with a move to Arsenal today. Of course, the one that we're all kind of waiting and interested to see if this one develops out is Bruno Guimaraes. Of course, this one still continuing. He's set to return back to Newcastle on Friday, but will he return or will he be coming to Arsenal? According to Mundo Deportivo, another publication over there in Spain, they're saying that Arsenal are willing to offer up to 70.
That's where Dani Olmo enters the conversation. The Spanish playmaker has earned a reputation as one of Europe's most intelligent attacking midfielders. Comfortable playing as a number 10, on either wing or even in a deeper creative role, Olmo offers the kind of versatility that every top manager values. His close control, vision, movement between the lines and ability to unlock stubborn defenses make him one of the most complete attacking players available. For Arsenal, adding another creative force could provide an entirely new dimension to the team. Imagine Martin Odegaard controlling the tempo in midfield while Dani Olmo drifts into dangerous spaces, linking up with Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and the club's attacking options. Defenses would face constant movement, quick passing combinations and greater unpredictability in the final third. That's exactly the type of football Arteta wants his team to play. Fast, technical, creative, relentless. Olmo's tactical intelligence would also give Arsenal greater flexibility throughout a long campaign. Whether starting matches, coming off the bench or filling different attacking roles depending on the opposition, his versatility could become one of the squad's biggest strengths. Another reason this story has attracted so much attention is Arsenal's long-term recruitment strategy. The Gunners have consistently targeted players who are entering or approaching their prime while already possessing experience at the highest level. Rather than signing footballers based purely on potential, Arsenal have focused on players capable of making an immediate impact. Olmo certainly fits that profile. He has played in major European competitions, represented Spain on the international stage and consistently delivered in high-pressure matches. That experience could prove invaluable for an Arsenal side determined to take the final step towards winning major trophies. Of course, completing any move would be far from straightforward. A player of Olmo's quality will always attract interest from several elite clubs across Europe. Competition for his signature could become intense if negotiations progress, meaning Arsenal would need to act decisively should they decide to pursue the deal seriously. Transfer windows are rarely simple. Negotiations evolve, valuations change, clubs enter and leave the race. Unexpected opportunities appear without warning. That's why Arsenal supporters continue following every update with growing anticipation. The club have shown in recent years that they're prepared to move aggressively when the right player becomes available. Rather than waiting until the final days of the window, Arsenal have increasingly attempted to complete important business early, allowing new signings to settle before the season begins. If Dani Olmo is indeed among the club's priority targets, supporters will be hoping discussions accelerate quickly. The potential impact extends beyond one individual player. Adding another elite creator would strengthen Arsenal's squad depth, increase competition for places and provide Arteta with more tactical options throughout a demanding campaign. Injuries, fixture congestion and the pursuit of multiple trophies make those additional options incredibly valuable. Supporters have already begun imagining how Olmo could combine with Arsenal's existing stars. Quick passing, intelligent movement, creative combinations around the penalty area. Those qualities could make the Gunners even more dangerous against teams that defend deep. Whether this transfer ultimately becomes reality remains to be seen. The coming days and weeks could bring fresh developments, unexpected twists or entirely new names into Arsenal's plans. That's the nature of every transfer window.